Hey guys, I want to talk about bullies and how to handle them. In fact, it's really the only way, in my opinion. Let me tell you a little story about myself. When I was in the 7th grade, a very long time ago, there was this one guy who just kept fucking with me. He just wanted to pick on me for whatever reason. Who knows? Bullies do it because they're usually bullied somewhere else, a lot of times at home. And so the way they regain their power in their minds is by bullying other people. And this is, I don't care who it is, that is what's going on in their own minds. Anyway, this kid kept messing with me over and over and over again for like a couple of weeks. And I was just, my anger was just building. I wasn't a super huge guy back then. I was a little skinny teenager. And finally I went and my dad knew something was up, and he was like, "What's going on?" I told him, I was like, this kid keeps fucking with me. Well, I didn't say that because my dad doesn't cuss, but this kid keeps messing with me, and I don't know what to do because, I didn't want to get in a fight in school and get in trouble for all that. Most of the time I followed the rules. But anyway, this kid, my dad says, "Well, is he bigger than you?" And my dad, you gotta think, you gotta understand, was a fairly passive preacher. Turn the other cheek and all that crap. But he had a limit. He was like, "Well, sometimes, son, you just have to punch back, And so I think it was probably the next day I went to school. Sure enough, kid starts fucking with me again. And the teacher left the room for a few minutes to do something, and said there's a big opening for the bully to come over and mess with me again. Well, he came over one more time. He flicked my head or something, man. I don't even remember. And that was it. I jumped up. I grabbed him with my left hand on his shirt, slammed him against the wall, drew back to punch him in the mouth, when another kid jumped in and broke us up. And that was it. And that dude never fucked with me again. I never saw him screw around with anybody again, to be honest. That's all it takes. And so when bullies come calling, stand up and say no. And if you see somebody else being bullied that is really, stand up for them. Bullies always back down. They're cowards. Deep down, they're absolute 150% coward. There's no bravery there. There's no courage there. Punching down is not courage. It's weakness. It's fear. Every time. Okay? All bullies are weak. And as soon as you push back, they fall apart. And they start to backpedal and start thinking. But as long as people keep giving in to them, they'll keep coming. They'll go for the next person and the next person or the next institution or whatever. And this is what Trump's trying to do. And it's, some people give him their lunch money. Some of those law firms that have given him hundreds of millions of dollars now, collectively. Some universities have given in. But obviously the mainstream media, which is all corporate owned anyway, they've been licking his butt for years. And then who else is giving in? You name it. Doesn't matter. But then some are standing up and saying, "Fuck you," and punching back. He will back down. He will move on to some other target. But eventually, if enough people stood up, he'd be over. All confidence in him would be gone. His confidence would be broken. Trust me. It's razor thin. This is why you always have to have a bunch of butt lickers around. "Oh, you're so amazing. You're so wonderful. Can we kiss your ass again?" that's why he has to have people like that around him all the time, because his actual ego is so fucking fragile that he has to be told how amazing he is every second of every day. And every time he walks in the room, there has to be big applause. Woo, it's Trump. He won the golf tournament that he owns that he didn't actually play in. You know, that kind of crap. He's a punk and a bully. We need to punch him back in the face and keep doing it till he crumbles, and he will. And so will all the rest of the motherfuckers that work for him, because they're all bullies too. They're punks. So keep punching. Fuck on. Live fearless.